everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. For today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different on my channel, and I'm going to be doing a story time for you guys. I personally love story times, especially when they involve being a makeup artist. People come up with some very crazy stuff, by the way. I will say that because I definitely have scoured YouTube, and makeup artists run into all sorts of crazy things that happen to them, all sorts of crazy clients, things like that. My story isn't super crazy, but it is kind of crazy for me. I usually have a pretty normal set of clientele, honestly. I have amazing clients, and most of the time they literally are super fantastic. Nothing happens. It all goes smoothly. This experience, however, happened to me when I was actually working at MAC. I actually worked at a MAC boutique inside of an Ulta. So you know how when you walk into Ulta's and there's all those like different, brands and boutiques and everything, like Clinique, Lancome, Benefit, and MAC's also one of them too. I was about 6 to 8 months into my career at that point in time, and I was definitely newer. I was pretty okay for the time being, but I definitely am not anywhere close to the level that I'm at now. So I had this client walk in. I remember that she walked in with her friend, and all I remember is that she had really long red hair. I'm not passing judgments. My hair has been bright red before. That's just the only thing I can really remember about her. But yeah, so she had really long red hair, and that will kind of come into play later, so just remember that. But I think it was mainly kind of underneath kind of where boob level is, and it was just really long. So this girl walks into the store, and it's about maybe 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night, I want to say, and Ulta closes at 9. So that probably leaves me about 2.5 hours for me to get her makeup application done, right? So she and her friend come up to me and says that she wants to get her makeup done because she has to work later, and I say, okay, cool. What kind of look are you looking for? And so she tells me that she's a dancer at this local strip club near me, and again, I am not passing any sort of judgments whatsoever. Like, you do you to make money, and to make ends meet, I don't really care. But anyways, so she told me that, and I said, cool. So are you looking for something kind of dramatic, or what are you looking for? And so she told me that she was looking for an emerald green cut crease with gold glitter all over the place. And I said, okay, cool. I can definitely get it done. Again, at that point in time, I was a newer artist, but you kind of got to fake it till you make it, If you walk in to the boutique, like into the Ulta, and then the boutique's kind of right in front of you when you walk in, there's 2 towers right here with products going in, and then you're basically facing the counter where the clients sit. So she sits down right here, and then her friend sits down in the other chair, so they're just right across from each other, and then the mirror's behind them. Also, first off, I want to point out that it's a very huge mistake as a freelancer to give your clients mirrors or give them access to mirrors while you're doing their makeup, because they literally just constantly pivot and turn around or try to look at themselves the whole entire time you're doing the makeup application. And it's really frustrating, by the way. Oh, and then also I forgot to mention that she also told me right as she sat down in the chair that she does makeup herself, and she's very picky, and nobody has ever done a good job on her. I'm sorry, but that's like the most intimidating thing to hear as a makeup artist. This girl was super nice though. I just want to let you guys know she wasn't mean. She wasn't yelling at me. It wasn't like that kind of psychotic sort of thing going on. She, sits down, and I start doing her makeup, right? So the very first thing I usually start on is brows. So she said she wanted a really sharp cutout, really bold Instagram looking brow. So I start filling on her brows with an angled brush, and literally every 2 seconds, this girl is nonstop pivoting, turning, looking at this mirror. Every 2 seconds, she just constantly, like that sort of thing. And I was like, girl, just let me finish your brows, and then you can nitpick about it. We ended up figuring out the brow situation. She was happy with her brows, so I moved on. So next, I moved on to the eyeshadow. I did the eyeshadow perfectly in her eyes, so that was really nice. The only thing that we kind of had a problem with was that she wanted really bold winged eyeliner. As a newer artist, I will let you know that winged eyeliner is probably like the hardest thing to do on somebody. And she wanted, real bold winged eyeliner. She literally told me, no joke, to put her winged eyeliner kind of where her temples are and just flick it and wing it out. And I'm like, okay, girl. I was kind of feeling a little bit uncomfortable. I remember she had a pretty decent amount of lid space, so you could do a pretty dramatic wing, but not enough that it almost covers her whole entire lid space. So I winged it out, cut it really sharp, and I actually did a really good job, in my opinion at the time. And she goes, okay, perfect, let's move on. So I said, okay. So then next I'm moving on to foundation, right? And she told me that she wants foundation that's about 3 shades darker than her skin tone. Keep in mind that she was like If you guys know MAC color, she was probably like an NC15, something around there. So she was more of a light skin tone, and she wanted to look 3 shades darker than what she was, because she said when she's up on stage, then the spotlights wash her out a little bit, which I totally get. I've done stage makeup before. I know how really heavy projector lights can look on you, but she was not that color on her body. So it's not like she was 3 shades darker on her body and she self-tanned or something, and then I'm going 3 shades darker on her face to try to match her body. It's like she wanted to have her face only look 3 shades darker. And that just makes me very uncomfortable as an artist. Again, even though I was not freelancing at the time, that was still my name she was wearing on her face, you know, and I don't want people just looking at her, you know, on the streets, obviously, when she's leaving or something, or going into work, and it's like, oh my gosh, who did your makeup? So I told her instead that I'm more comfortable going like maybe a shade and a half darker or so, and then just kind of contouring her out really, really well, loading her up on bronzer, and then, you know, just seeing how she likes that after I'm done. And so she said, okay, fine, we can try that. I'll see how I like it. So I said, okay, cool. While I'm doing this, I'm sitting there blending out her bronzer, doing the whole thing, put the foundation on her, blending it out. All of a sudden, I can tell that something kind of shifted with her a little bit, and she just got a little bit more jittery. She was really fidgeting around. And then I got to the point where I was doing her mascara on her face, because I was trying to do mascara and then I was going to do lashes afterwards, because she wanted like really, really dramatic lashes. And so I was sitting there trying to do her mascara, and meanwhile, like her whole entire face just kind of like all of a sudden started twitching or something, but like uncontrollably. I mean, it wasn't, you know, a normal eye twitch that kind of goes away after a couple of seconds. I mean, she just kept, you know, doing this whole thing to the point where I almost thought she was having a seizure or something. And I go, are you okay? And she goes, yeah, fine. You know, I'm good, whatever. And so meanwhile, she and her friend started talking about something very inappropriate, by the way. They started talking about like their boyfriends and like sexual things they've done in the past and will do in the future. And I go, okay, I'm just going to ignore you and keep moving on with life. It's not like I haven't had clients talk about uncomfortable things, but it's just like in a retail store with somebody that's a third party that you don't know and still talking about this. It's super, super weird and very uncomfortable for the third person, by the way. So I'm going on, trying not to feel too uncomfortable. And all of a sudden, no joke, her eyes legit like roll back like inside of her head, and she just falls off my chair. And so I literally have to react super, super quickly. I drop my brush that's in my hand, and I literally just catch her right here with my arm, and her shoulder and her body are sitting right here. And I'm propping her back up and everything, and the shock on my face, I probably had deer in headlights look at that point in time, and I go, oh my gosh, are you okay? And then I look around to the friend, right, that's sitting, you know, right across from her. And instead of, you know, having a shocked look as well on her face, the friend is sitting there busting out laughing. And while this girl is literally just coming to almost. And I go, what is going on? Your friend literally fainted in front of you. You're not the least bit concerned. So all of a sudden, this girl snaps back out of it once I ask her if she's okay. And she goes, yep, I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. And she then starts busting out laughing herself. And those two are just laughing their butts off in my chair. And I go, oh my gosh, what is actually going on here? And I go, so are we good? Do you want to stop? What do you want to do? And the girl goes, nope, I'm fine. You can continue on with what you're doing. I'm so sorry this happened. Sometimes it just happens. I don't know. I just kind of get lightheaded sometimes. Okay. I mean, usually people don't get lightheaded like that. I continue on. So I finish up her mascara, do the finishing touches and all of her makeup. She turns around in the mirror and is really happy with it. So, I mean, that was a good pat on the back for me. So you think that ends there? No, it does not. I asked her what style of lashes she was comfortable in. She told me she wanted something super dramatic. I kind of figured as much, but you know. So I can only apply MAC lashes being a MAC artist. So I grabbed all the little lashes that I had at my boutique. The ones that I grabbed were probably the most dramatic of the bunch. So I had 4 different pairs that I showed her and said, will any of these work for you? And so she said, I don't know. I mean, they're not really dramatic enough for me and everything. And I told her, you know, our policy on, you know, applying lashes and how I couldn't apply anything except for MAC lashes because I was specifically a MAC artist. So I told her instead, if she wants to go to the wall of lashes over on the other side, then she can pick out anything she wants, and then I'll have somebody else apply them for her. So I told her that the Benefit Brow Girl was free because she didn't have any clients. She wasn't doing any brow waxes or anything. And so I told her basically to just meet her over at the Benefit counter once she picked out her lashes. So she said, okay, cool. So she and her friend hopped up. They went to go pick out lashes. That was fine. So I walked over to the girl, at Benefit and everything, and we were cool. We were friends, And so I told her the situation that was going on and said that there's something a little bit off. She almost fainted in my chair, and yeah. The client eventually picks up the lashes. She walks over to the girl at Benefit, and the girl at Benefit's, doing her lashes, trying to help her out. And I can tell that this girl's sitting there because I'm obviously creeping in the background, because from where the boutique was, you can see Benefit directly across the way from it. So I'm pretending to clean brushes and I'm just, watching or whatever. And so this girl is literally holding up the mirror and is sticking on the lashes herself. And the Benefit girl is literally just hanging back and going, okay, do you need help with it? And the girl's like, no, I got it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm watching this all go down, right? So this girl, no joke, just puts on her own set of lashes, still pays the Benefit Brow Girl and tips her, and then walks back to me and goes, yep, I think we're good. How do these look? And I go, yep, you look really good, So she says thank you. She gives me a tip and then pays for her service and everything, and we're done. So she leaves, and I thought that was the end of it. It was not. So her and a friend come back in about 15 minutes later or so, and my first thought is, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Because that's the first thought that for some odd reason came to my head. But she comes up to me and asks me where the salon is, and she has a hair appointment. And I go, oh, okay. So I redirect her back to the salon in the back of Ulta. And at this point in time, it's like 8 o'clock or so. And the stylist, I feel so bad for her because she has an hour to wash, cut, and dry this person's hair when she was already a pain anyways to me. And it took me so much longer than it should have to do her makeup. So I felt really bad for the stylist at that point in time because I know she for sure wanted to be out of there at 9. But I directed her back to the salon, so didn't hear anything back out of her, right? I think it was maybe like 10 after 9 at that point in time, maybe, when I saw the client again. So I was still cleaning up my station, making sure everything was ready to go for the next day so I could go home. And again, as I said previously, the client had really, really long hair underneath boob level. She was missing about 5 or 6 inches off of her hair. So, it wasn't just a trim, it was a full-blown haircut. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I actually had a good vision to the register from where the MAC boutique was at. So the whole entire time she was standing up at the register getting checked out by my manager, she was laughing and everything and said, oh my gosh, I love my hair, I love my makeup, blah, blah, blah. And the manager's like, oh my gosh, that's so great to hear, And she was still really peppy, really energetic and everything. And her friend was going on the same, kind of high as she was, And so then eventually, she was about to walk out the door, turned around to me and said, thanks so much again. I love my makeup. You did a really great job. And so I said, oh my gosh, thanks so much. Have a good night, guys. Have fun at work. And so then, we both waved and it was fine. She left. So then I head straight back to the salon because I want to get the dirt from the stylist, right? I just want to see what'll happen, whatnot. So I went back to the stylist and I asked her how so-and-so's haircut was. And she said, it was definitely interesting. I will tell you that. And I go, how so? And she said that she, no joke, could not get this girl to sit still. She literally had to hold her down while she cut her hair with the other hand because she kept swiveling around in the chairs and just jittery and, just really all over the place, right? And I go, yep, that's pretty much what happened to me too. And I told her how she pretty much fainted in my chair. And I said that, I had to pretty much do the same thing. I had to hold her down, make sure I was, getting mascara on her actual eyelashes and not her face while she was moving around. And then after that, the stylist goes, well, I kind of can, see how this would happen because of what was happening. And so I go, what was happening? And she told me right as the client and her friend were getting checked out at the register at the salon in the back that she and her friend were on ecstasy the whole entire time. Yeah, they were on drugs. Real major drugs. And so I go, oh, okay, that explains it. That explains everything. So that was my crazy experience at MAC when I worked there with a girl that was on ecstasy the whole entire time. So yeah, if you guys have had any crazy client stories like that and you're a makeup artist yourself, let me know in the comments down below and we can definitely talk about it. I definitely love hearing crazy stories about makeup artists and their clients and whatnot. So yeah, just share those down below and we can definitely swap stories. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like this video if you guys really enjoyed the story time. And if you guys want me to make any other Ulta/Max story times in the future, I definitely have other ones. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and I will talk to you guys in my next video. All right, bye.